Heading into another weekend, the weather and the climate are making news in more than one region. A terrible drought has already
We do not know how much our climate could or will change in the future.
More than a week of severe flooding has killed at least 72 people in Central and Eastern Europe and Western Russia.
The heaviest recorded rainfall in Indian history has unleashed the worst flooding in living memory.
We do not know how fast change will occur, or even how some of our actions could impact it.
In Chicago, the heat is a plague. This morning, they were collecting bodies.
Thousands of firefighters in Southern California are battling a newly formed super wildfire.
The heat is on coast to coast. Even Arizona is having the heat. Tennessee was battered by killer tornadoes.
New Orleans is no longer safe to live in. It is that simple.
There's a fundamental illusion in the world that somehow people are separate from nature, when the reality is that we are part of nature. In fact, we are nature. And that's probably the most fundamental misunderstanding in the world that's causing all this havoc.
Some scientists are amazed that in the media debate and in front of Congress we hear about people who I believe in or I don't believe in global warming, as if this were somehow some object of religion as opposed to based in evidence. And scientists look at evidence. The Earth has a natural greenhouse effect. In fact, we're about 60 degrees Fahrenheit warmer thanks to those good guys, water vapor and carbon dioxide and methane, what we call greenhouse gases, trapping heat. That's the good part of the story. The problem is that humans are competing with nature in that we use our tailpipes and our smokestacks to put our wastes into the atmosphere as if it's some kind of unpriced sewer. We're adding to that amount of greenhouse gases that's natural, unnatural stuff, mostly carbon dioxide, methane, chemicals that nobody's ever seen before, chlorofluorocarbons, which also affect ozone. And when they build up, they trap extra heat. And that's not controversial, that's well understood. We know we've increased carbon dioxide by about 30-35%, methane 150%, added gases that never existed before. And the Earth is warmer. All of that goes together and makes global warming not only a reality, but a concern for the future, because we're continuing doing what we're doing at an accelerating rate.
Like a bastard on the burning sea.
The real problem is that there are too many of us using too many resources too fast. Now, oil has enabled us to do that. We use oil to increase the rate at which we extract all other resources, everything from topsoil to fresh water to from aluminum to zinc.
I think one of the reasons why it's so difficult for people to get it that we're connected with nature and to even understand the fundamentals of eco-literacy is because in many ways it flies in the face of the assumptions of our culture. Our culture is built on the assumption that we are the superior life form on Earth, that we are separate from all other life forms, that we have been given dominion over all of the life forms.
When you look at the history of humanity, it's basically this relationship between the two most complicated systems on Earth, human society and nature, and whether people have in fact lived in a good balance in that regard, and when they don't, they're gone. And at the end of the day, when we all talk about saving the environment, in a way it's misstated, because the environment is going to survive. We're the ones who may not survive, or we may survive in a world that we don't particularly want to live in.